So I'm going to be talking to some of my local legislators tonight about why New Jersey teachers need pension reform, and here's what I want them to know. And I feel like, who is this girl? I'm a teacher, a local union president, and I'm also in Tier 5, so if you can relate, let me know. But basically, that's a big part of what I want them to know, how bad Tier 5 is. In New Jersey, we have 5 different tiers for our pensions. Tier 1, the gold standard. That is what a lot of people think about when they think about those great teacher pensions. You can retire at 55 years of age if you have 25 years of service. I know some other states call it the rule of 80, so if you have something similar, let us know, but in Jersey, we call it 55 and 25. And no, you are not and never were getting 100% of your salary as your pension. There's a whole formula. But the problem is once you start getting down in the tiers, especially Tier 5. In Tier 5, there is no 55 and 25. There is no rule of 80. There's no rule of 90. You cannot collect your full pension until you are 65 years old. It does not matter how much teaching experience you have. So for those of us that started teaching at 22, fresh out of college like me, I will have taught for 43 years before I can fully collect my pension. And even when we do collect the pension, it's actually a worse formula than people in Tier 1. And a big issue is how much you would get penalized if you tried to collect your pension before 65. You would lose 3% of your pension every year for each year under 65 you are. So forget about trying to retire at 55, you would lose 30% of your pension. Even retiring at 60, you're still losing 15%. Even just comparing it to Tier 4, which is like still significantly worse than Tier 1, but Tier 4, you're only losing 1% for each year you are under 62. So you could retire at 55 and only lose 7%. You could retire at 60 and only lose 2%. I mean, I say this all the time, but teaching used to be a trade-off. We took the low salary knowing that we were getting these great pensions and health insurance benefits that were included as part of our compensation. Neither of those things are true anymore. And the low salary is even lower than it used to be. And I haven't even talked about the people who had been in Tier 1, took some time off to raise a family or take care of an elderly family member, and then got knocked down into Tier 5. Thank God it does look like the state is addressing that and fixing it. And don't even get me started on our support staff that are in DCRP. Anyway, we desperately need pension reform in the state for our teachers and support staff. Let me know if you want to hear more.